I in handcuffs? I don't.
Fuck, I never put this video on.
You put the
Hey.
I gotta do social media.
Yeah, true. I mean, you could do it if you want, or I could do it after. It's up to you. If you want to do the intro, while you do that. All right, Mass and None Podcast. Welcome everybody to the show. This is the Mass and None Podcast. This is episode 198. We appreciate everybody for rocking with us for 198 episodes. We are 2 episodes shy of episode 200, and episode 200 is going to be a big episode. So we just want everybody to stay tuned for that. So we'll get the announcements out of the way. Episode 198. We appreciate everybody that tunes into the live video, everybody that's able to check in with the chat, participate in the show. That's our favorite part of the show. So if you could do that, we do appreciate it. If you can't do that, just go ahead and make sure that you check out the episodes in the archive under the live tab on our YouTube channel. We also simulcast on Twitch as well as Kick, and episodes are uploaded on Rumble. So if you can't watch any of the video versions, whether it be live or in the archive, make sure you jump into the audio podcast versions on all audio podcast listening platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, whichever one is your favorite audio podcast listening platform. And if you don't find us on your favorite audio podcast listening platform, you guys can join the Discord. As Berto says, harass us. Or just join the Discord and don't, but make sure you guys jump in there so that you can be up to date on all the shenanigans and suggest us topics, things like that. We have different subcategories that you guys can participate in and kind of network with each other. And with that said, I know you see how I'm dressed. You know why? Because this is New York, baby. And it's not just New York, baby. This is round 1 of the NBA playoffs with my wonderful, incredible, show up all the time, every night and hustle, gritty, salt of the earth.
Let's go.
Elbow grease providing. Hustle all over their face, never take no for an answer. Physical basketball, show up every night. New York Knicks. So let's go. Vintage on the hat. Out the bottom of the closet. Been a while since I felt this good about our Knicks. I've been tortured for many years. And we're here now. We're here now and we're ready.
It's our time. I don't even like basketball. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm an avid basketball watcher, basketballette. I think that growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in and everybody being so much better at me than basketball, I've developed a hatred towards the sport. But I'll tell you right now, the Knicks doing as well as they're doing, dominating in the playoffs the way they are, it's reinvigorated my love for the game. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, man. There's nothing that'll get you back in the game like winning.
Yeah, it's your city. When your city wins, we haven't won in a long time, so I don't even remember what it feels like. But dude, when your city wins, it's a different feeling. You don't even have to watch the sports. If any of these hockey teams from New York are playing for the Stanley Cup or a Green Jacket, whatever their championship is, whatever it is at the finale of their sport, and they're in there, I'm wearing the jersey. I'll be at the game, whatever it takes, because I support our city.
Hell yeah.
I was talking to a friend the other day where they said, because I asked him about the Knicks, I know they're a basketball fan, and he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I don't care. He's like, he has teams that he likes, but he doesn't, I was like, that's crazy that you're not like, let's go Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody is. Like, but the ones that are, no. Like, we show up and people know we're there. I mean, these aren't exactly discrete colors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a fact.
Not exactly discrete colors, but it's been a long time coming, man. I mean, I was born in the late 80s, grew up in the 90s, and to me, I've always been a Knicks fan my whole entire life, man. My whole life. I mean, I grew up not liking Michael Jordan. I like Michael Jordan now as an adult because I respect what he's done and I know that what he's done is incredible and he's the best basketball player to ever live. But when you're watching him bust your team's ass year in, year after year, I got, John Starks is on Michael Jordan's highlights, you know what I'm saying? Or Patrick Ewing is on Michael Jordan's highlights. Like, I'm tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's a fact. And it's easy to just become a fan of those teams. I always said that. I said that about Patriot fans and
Yankees fans from the 90s, right?
Yankee fans are very much like that. Not the new ones. When I was a kid and you were a Yankee fan, it was easy to be a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
Bro, I was a Mets fan.
Oof. That's rough.
I was a Mets fan. I was a Dallas Cowboys. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan.
You know what? But when I was growing up, there was a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans because it was just that kind of team. You had Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith, and and they were really fun players.
Those
to watch.
guys were alive when they were playing good, and they're still Cowboys fans. I had never seen them good. Like, I've seen them as good as they are now, but like in my lifetime of watching football, I've never seen them win a Super Bowl. I've never seen them get past the second round of the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I got you. I'm not sure if they won. Did they win any in the 90s? They won at least one, I think, right?
They had to have.
But-
I don't know. And people are gonna say, well, "How are you even a fan?" I don't fucking know. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know.
And I'm going to tell you real quick, a quick little memory that made a lot of Cowboys fans when I was growing up too. We had this 4th grade teacher. I'm going to look at this camera right now because when this podcast pops off, this right here, shout out to Mr. Sorrentino. He was a 4th grade teacher in our elementary school. And you know when teachers would give prizes for you doing well, like behaving yourself, doing well
you
on
get
your
like
test.
an eraser with a pig on it or something.
Exactly. You get a little ticket to pick out of the treasure chest or something, and there's like candy and pencils and shit. Well, this guy, what he would do, bro, is he would meet athletes, right? He would meet them in real life. They would sign photos for him, and he would have them sign in like color. Bro, when I was a kid, I had no idea these were copies. He used to go to Kinko's Copies and make high resolution photo copies of the autographed images he would get from these players.
Yeah.
And he would give them away if you were behaving well and shit. Like you would get one. You would get like a Troy Aikman signed photo. Like he was Bro, he was the coolest teacher, man. He wasn't even my teacher and let me used to go in the room.
Yeah, and
He wasn't even my teacher. He was like a couple of my good friends' teachers growing up.
But you thought that they were legit. Like,
Yeah, they looked legit as hell. It wasn't until I was older that I was like, no way he was giving us these. I was like, damn, these were just like really good professional copies.
Dude, it takes a certain kind of individual to wait outside a hotel or like a stadium and wait for those guys to come out. Like the guys who wait outside the airport for Kanye and shit, just to get him to sign a vinyl of late registration because they're gonna sell it.
Yeah.
Like I know the celebrities aren't into it because they're, when you could see it, it's like a trend within celebrities. They don't like these people who are selling their autograph stuff. But those guys work hard, dude.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I don't know if he was, he
was involved in that underworld. I know you don't want to allege to it.
Nah,
but I wasn't in school with this fucking guy, and I'll tell you right now, this guy had a gambling problem, right? Your buddy, all right? Because nobody knows that much about. No, I don't think he had any problems, but I do think that if he was getting that many signatures, that he was working hard to get them, especially in that time because it's not like nowadays. Nowadays, there's a Discord that follows Mr. Beast around, and you could always know where Mr. Beast is at any time. So there's things like that exist for celebrities, so it's not difficult to find these guys. When that guy was getting signatures, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that he may have been buying this memorabilia online. I don't know.
Oh.
But, who knows? And then making copies of it. But I love your story that he's out there mining these. He's out there mining these autographs.
Dude, that's where my mind goes. I don't think about people taking the easy way out.
And you're an adult. Imagine a kid.
Well,
I was like, oh my God, Emmitt Smith is his friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, they have cookouts together.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective when you're a kid. It's like superhero shit. When your teacher gives you that,
Yeah, no, it's true. How could you say Mr. Sorrentino's racist? His best friend's Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yo, he was the best. And I remember, you know what's funny? I remember the day that I found out they weren't real. I was still I think it was like in 5th grade, like the next year. Yo, bro, my boy Macho, shout out to Macho. We were talking about it, and he's like, yeah, bro, I had some of those. He's like, I threw them out. I'm like, what, you threw them out? He's like, yeah, I don't know where they are. They kind of like lost, I think. I was like, what do you mean you lost them? And he's like, what are you talking about? Who cares? And I was like, what do you mean? These are autographed photos, bro. Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, what do you mean? And he's like, you idiot. These are copies. He said this from like Kinko's or some shit my dad told me. He's like, my old man said this is some bullshit.
He took that shit to the crib. His dad grabbed it. He said, hold on, son. Never mind. You can have it.
Right, you can have it,
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool, man. But I know I sidetracked us a lot about the Cowboys, but that's how Cowboys fans were like cultivated in my elementary school.
Yeah. Oh, that's super cool. Because at one point they were a really good team, and they're not a bad team now. They're just not winning chips. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Knicks.
Yeah.
Who tonight will...
Right now they're playing. Tip-off's already happened. If somebody wants to give me a live score, hook me up in the chat. What's the score on the Knicks game? Please, hook me up. So, yeah, man, it's game 5 tonight. They're up 3-1 over the 76ers. If they win tonight, they move on to the second round. 76ers go fishing.
Now, who do they play if they get... After this round, who are they going to play?
I want to say the winner of the Boston series. Let me see. Let me see. NBA playoff bracket.
It's so funny. I'm still thinking about different scenarios of your teacher and how he's getting these signatures. He's definitely like in an underworld, like poker game or something like that.
All right, here we go. They're gonna play the winner actually of the Bucks and the Pacers series, the winner of this year, or when the Knicks beat Philly tonight, they will move on to play
the winner
of the Bucks and the Pacers.
Bucks and the Pacers.
And the Pacers are up right now 3-1.
Oh,
yeah. So it's the same setup, you know, and they're actually playing tonight as well after the Knicks. So the Knicks tip off. They're playing right now. The Knicks. So let's check a score while we're here.
Is Peyton still playing? That's a joke.
yeah. Is Peyton still playing? I love this guy.
He was on the Pacers, wasn't he?
Who are you talking? Oh, you're talking about Peyton Manning. I thought
No.
Who? Gary Payton?
Yeah.
That's the only way. He was on multiple teams.
That's the only way my joke is funny.
Yeah. I think he was. Because
I said it's been long since I watched basketball.
I think the glove played. Yeah. I think he did. But yeah. So that's gonna be interesting, man. I'm just looking forward to seeing the Knicks. The Knicks are doing so well. They have so many guys from Villanova. They call them the Nova Knicks. Yo, right? They have like 4 guys. They have like 4 guys from Villanova from the college.
Oh.
What do you think? Like Nova Scotia?
Some city in Europe that I don't know about.
Villanova.
I'm like, Villanova? Oh, interesting. It sounds like it's cold there. I'm thinking like
Rocky Train?
They got like 6'3" Swedish like blonde dudes or something like that. It's a city like with Vikings. I'm like, oh, Villanova.
Pretty much, man. They,
right.
They would have survived that whole thing years and years ago.
We're going to cut that out. As a matter of fact, we're not talking about the fucking game anymore. That's it. It's time to move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
With that being said,
what do you got for us, Berto? What do you got?
Man, you know, speaking of the games in general, what do you think the prices are right now to watch one of those games? Because you look at the last
one of what games? The Knicks?
These playoff basketball games.
Oh, bro, I'll tell you right now.
Because you look. You tried. You look at the last Knicks game, and it looks like there was a lot of New Yorkers in Philly.
Oh, matter of fact.
It looks like there was a lot of New Yorkers in Philly.
But not only that, I went to a Knicks game last season.
Yeah.
Or the beginning of the season. I forget. But the whole Garden was full of Philly fans.
Oh, really?
They played the 76ers, bro. It was full of... Dude, they were chanting MVP for Joel Embiid at the goddamn free throw line. So you already know me. I was like a few Goose Island IPAs in, and I started asking questions around it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But did you see that? Did you see that?
I know you, so I already know. This is gonna be a problem. I already know. It's like, fuck.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. It's not true. It's not true. But when they were exiting the Philadelphia arena, did you see everybody chanting "fuck Embiid"?
Yeah.
Shaking the whole place, jumping up and down. Yeah. It looked crazy, bro. It looked crazy. Yeah. I loved it. I was waiting for Spider Cuz to come out with the Henny, you know?
Nah, he was definitely priced out of those tickets.
But anyway,
what's the price?
Tickets were crazy. This is what pissed me off because a couple weeks ago, the Knicks played the Bulls. It was just before I think they playoffs began, right? Just before, clearly before, because, you know, clearly this first series is against the 76ers. But they played the Bulls. And right before the Bulls game started, it was 1 p.m. on a Saturday. Right before it started, I looked at tickets for potential playoff games. We didn't even know who they were playing yet, and the time the game was happening was still all TBD, right? To be determined, whatever. I priced the tickets. They're like $216 each for the first game of the first round of the playoffs at the Garden.
That's not bad at all,
No,
dude.
so I was like, I'm going to get these. I forgot about it. You know how you close your phone, you get a text, you get distracted, whatever.
Yeah, you just confirmed it. You're like, 216, perfect. All right, I'll get them later.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to check it out. Bro, soon as the game is over and the Knicks win, $480. Immediately after, bro. I jumped on. I was like, oh, shit, I forgot to, because I was watching the game, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to get the fucking ticket. So I log on. Dude, done. I was like, I'm priced out. Now they're like $600. And they just keep on going up.
Honestly, 600 isn't terrible.
I mean, it's not terrible, but god damn it, dude. 1,200 out. What am I going to go alone? I'm a Steven Glansberg?
No, you can't go alone. But it brings me to my next topic where I think I got it. I definitely heard it on Philip DeFranco where he was talking about how these celebrities are like upset with Ticketmaster because of what they're doing with their tickets and all the price gouging that's happening.
There you go. What I was just saying.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. You know, the Ticketmaster is doing these different things where, a celebrity will price their ticket at a certain price point, and they will sell some tickets at that price point, and then allow people to resell them through them, which is ironic, right?
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, they also have this other feature where it's like a Ticketmaster where there's like platinum seats or like gold package where the price of the seat fluctuates based on demand. And I think he played a segment from the H3 podcast where they were talking about how the tickets to their show were $600. And if you think about how, like, you know, you compare the Knicks playoff tickets being $600 and then you look at his tickets $600, it's like, that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it could make sense. I mean, the online world, like the online streaming world, these people are huge. Like when Kai Cenat shut down the goddamn city.
Yeah, no,
for a meetup.
I'm not saying that he's not as popular. I'm just saying that the tickets shouldn't be as expensive and he doesn't believe it. He was upset that the tickets were that expensive too. But when you think about like what kind of an event this is, the Knicks being in the playoffs, it's like this isn't sporting events like that don't happen every time. It's not like a guy on tour. Usher will be back. But the Knicks being in the playoffs against the Sixers today won't ever happen again.
And not with the players we have,
That's
not with the lineup. Like, you know, your jersey might not be good anymore next season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
dude, you know how many of those I got?
Bro, I got a closet full of retired shit.
Yeah, you know how many jerseys I got? You just can't wear them.
It's not all like... It's not all big-time players.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of them are like, this don't even make sense anymore. Nobody cares that I have a Marcus Camby jersey when he played for the Knicks. Like, nobody gives a shit.
I got a Giants jersey for a guy that he was like a backup quarterback who never even, like, nobody even knew he was a quarterback for there. Yeah. He ended up doing very good on another team later on down the line, but he was like a second-string quarterback. I think my mom got it for me. She just went, she went to like Modell's and there was like, New York Giants, here we go. New York, baby. This is the cheapest one. All right, boom, perfect.
Yeah.
It was official. It was nice. But the guy just wasn't,
wasn't who you wanted.
It wasn't. I didn't even know myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't until later on in life that I was like, wait a second. Who the fuck is this guy? Rodriguez.
That third string kicker.
Yeah. Like, let's check this guy's stats out. This guy hasn't thrown a single yard.
Yeah, wait a minute. Me and this guy make the same salary?
Yeah.
What the fuck? So, but I wanted to make one more point about Philly.
Okay, let's hear it.
First of all, so I want Philly to lose tonight because they're playing my team, right? They're playing my team. Let me show you guys real quick. This team right here, in case you didn't know, this team right here. So, have you seen, what are you laughing at?
In my head, I just made a joke and it was funny.
About me being stupid?
No, I said to myself, man, I wish I had some Knicks memorabilia. Oh, and then I went along to say to myself, I should have at least like pinstriped my dick orange and blue. And I was going to say it, but I thought it was inappropriate. But since you ask, that's what I was thinking.
There it is. That's the brain of Berto.
Yeah, I was thinking
that's what he's thinking. When you look at him sometimes and the camera's on him and he's not saying anything, just look at him and just understand that's the kind of shit that's going through his mind. Look right now.
Yeah,
that's what's going through his mind. Take a look.
I want you to envision like the barbershop thing. That barbershop, that blue and red thing at the barbershop. That's
the peppermint swirl shit.
The peppermint swirl, that's the pattern I was thinking in my head that I should have gave myself, really support the team. But only because I don't have any swag,
Got you.
What a better way to support the team than painting yourself.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like, peppermint. It'd be like what, twig and berry?
It would be I don't know, man. It depends on the fucking weather, I guess.
Schnozberry. It tastes like Schnozberry.
Yeah, it could be a fucking Jolly Rancher if it's cold.
Yeah,
it might be like a mystery Jolly Rancher one where all the colors get together,
And you don't know if you got the long joint.
Yeah, you don't know which one it is.
Give it some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to touch on Philly real quick because I'm like taken back by this. I know this happened a couple weeks ago, but we haven't talked about it. I wanted to pull up a picture of it so you could see like proportional size. But did you see that statue that they made as like a tribute to Allen Iverson?
No. They put it next to the Rocky. Is he crossing over the Rocky statue?
Bro, that would have been great, actually.
Is he in front of the Rocky statue? That
would have been incredible.
He's like carrying the ball.
Dude, the Rocky statue that you're bringing up is going to be part of my point.
Okay, let's hear it.
Bro, the statue that they made for Allen Iverson, who is arguably top 3, not arguably, he's like top 5 76ers in history. You know, because you got some really important characters that played for the 76ers over the years. But it's like 3 feet tall. Yo, it's like 3 feet tall.
It's not, you thought it was going to be drawn to scale?
Bro, yeah. Yo, Rocky's not a real person.
I was just going to ask
Rocky's not a real goddamn person.
I was just going to ask you, wait a second. Is that legit? That's
Dude,
a movie, right?
Rocky, that statue's like 10 feet tall.
But that's not even a real person, right?
No, it's Rocky Balboa. Hey, Adrian.
Yeah, they got a picture of Seagal up there?
Bro.
Like that's what it is? Who played him?
No.
Who was the actor that played him? Like, who is this guy? Is that based on a real story? I don't know. Is this guy, did he really exist? Is that what you're telling me? That this is a fictional character and they built a statue of him in the city?
Dude.
Hold on.
Yes.
That guy was never real.
Rocky Balboa is a 100% fictional character. Screenplay written by Sylvester Stallone. Written and starred in, he wrote and starred in the film. And it's not real. It's fake.
Can you imagine we had a statue of Batman?
Bro.
And people went to see it like it was a fucking legit vigilante.
Like it was like some real sightseeing like pin on the map.
Yeah, that is ridiculous it's ridiculous.
Imagine put it in Central Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's even more ridiculous because this guy's a real guy and he plays other roles.
And he represented the city of Philadelphia as one of the greatest basketball players in the NBA ever.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's tiny?
Bro, it's tiny. They were making, I saw
it looks like an award?
Almost. Yo, Allen Iverson is next to it. Like it's ridiculous. There were memes that showed Little Bow Wow hitting that crossover, and they were like, "This is the statue. This was like the model for the statue. This is what they modeled it after." You know, it was disrespectful, man. Like beyond belief. I couldn't believe it, dude. I was like, that is shameful. Damn, Iverson, AI he revolutionized the game, man.
That's terrible.
He revolutionized the game. But anyway, that's what I had to say. We sound all right?
Yeah.
All right. But that's what I had to say. I was like, I got one more thing for Philly before we go. You know,
I wish I could see. I'm going to look it up tonight.
Look it up, dude.
Yeah.
While you're talking right now, you got something else, right?
They should make a bigger one. I got one more thing.
All right. One more thing.
I got one more thing to talk about, but we got 30 minutes to fill. Let's take it easy.
I got another thing too.
Oh, you got things on things?
Yeah. And I'm going to, what topic you got?
I got the video.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do before we get to that, because that brings us from Philly back to New York.
Oh, we got to get to the creme de la creme, what we came here to talk about too.
Of course.
Oh, we got a lot of things. I got to grab my cell so it's over there.
Yeah, go ahead and get it. So I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna let them stare at me while I try to find this. There's multiple like joints on that mic stand.
Nah, I know, but this is the height I like.
Oh, all right. So you want to block the camera instead of move your mic. All right. So.
It's your car mess with your radio. You know what I'm saying?
True. All right. So I'm gonna look this up real quick for you guys. Real quick. God damn it, the Knicks are down by 2 points. But all right, that's not too bad. Let's see. We got I'm gonna look at I'm gonna pull it up, and we're gonna see what the Allen Iverson statue looks like. I want to look at this. This is Allen Iverson next to the statue, bro. And I'm gonna put this up on the camera for everybody to see. Are you ready? Here. Can you hold this in front of the camera? Hold that in front of the camera for the people, bro.
Oh my God.
Hold that in front of the camera for the people, man. Move it back. Yep. Move it on back. Take a look at that statue. That's what they gave and devoted to Allen Iverson. Number one, he's carrying the ball over his shoulder, which is also terrible. I mean, he did carry the ball, but don't show the guy breaking the rules. You know what I'm saying? That's like that's a carry. But in any case, his crossover is legendary. Game is legendary. One of the most legendary plays in NBA basketball ever. Or did you switch to People Magazine? You switched away like that was like a dick pic. Now you're good. But yeah, so that was crazy to me, man.
Bro,
is that ridiculous? That statue is
First
worse
of all,
than you thought, isn't it?
It is worse than I thought. In my head, it was like a lawn ornament. That's not even a lawn ornament.
No,
you couldn't put that in front of your house. Nobody would ever see it. Dude,
yeah.
That's like the size of a mailbox. First things first. It does look like Lil Bow Wow from that movie.
Yeah,
100%. If you could put Lil Bow Wow in a jersey today, and that's what he looks like. It does look like Lil Bow Wow. B, His chain's like half the size of that statue.
If he put his chain on that statue, it'd tip over.
Yeah.
100%.
But where is it? Is it amongst a bunch of other small statues?
I think it's on the mayor of Philadelphia's desk.
It must be, right?
I think it's in his
a
office.
paperweight. They got a 6'3" Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
At the top of the steps.
Isn't that crazy? They got a fake. Dude, you got to see that Bill Burr roast of the city of Philadelphia if you never saw it. They start booing him while he's up there. So then he cuts his whole set and starts tearing into the entire city of Philadelphia. He's like, you guys, he said, you want to cut me off? He said, I got 20 more minutes. And he's like, this piece of shit city. He said, you guys haven't won a Super Bowl since before they wore helmets. Listen to me. Listen to me. He's like, Philadelphia Flyers, them guys, it suck too. He said, you haven't seen a Stanley Cup ever. He said, your biggest, most famous person you got a statue for isn't even a real fucking person.
You know what's so funny is I never thought about that.
It's ridiculous.
It is. And now that we're talking about it, like objectively, it's crazy. Can you imagine you went to London and there was a giant Harry Potter that people went to go see? Can you imagine there was a bronze Harry Potter on the Queen's fucking in the garden?
Yo, I know.
It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
absolutely. It'd be like, yo, yeah, I know this ain't real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he ain't real, right?
Isn't that crazy, dude? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yo, I want better for them.
Yo, I want better for Allen Iverson, man. He deserves better than that, bro.
Yeah, we need to pull that Rocky statue out.
Yeah, and he went there and was still like happy about it. Of course, you want to go and you want to be politically correct. He must have knew. He's like, my fans are gonna wild out. They're gonna replace this thing within 6 months. It's gonna be like absolutely.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
I found it to be. Yo, it's much crazier when you get the actual visual because there's no way that a person could possibly, in their mind, when I tell them the story, conceive in their brain that the statue is that small. There's no way you thought it was that small.
No way.
I didn't even know it was that small. Like, you know, it didn't occur to me immediately when I said it was 3 feet. It ain't 3 feet. It's like 2 feet.
Dude, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Bro, the French gave us the Statue of Liberty, and I don't even remember what we did for them.
Yeah.
Look what this guy did for the sport of basketball.
Yo,
we couldn't give him a bigger statue.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I agree, dude. It's insane.
No,
man.
it is.
It's
all
grimy.
jokes aside, it is.
It's grimy.
Yeah. They gotta really like run stuff by other people before they put stuff out nowadays. Like nobody told anybody while they were making this. Like when the cast came out, right? When they 3D printed what they were gonna make to present the team with it, it's like, here's what it's gonna look like. This is the 3D printing, but it's gonna be essentially like this in bronze.
Yeah.
And somebody didn't say, man, maybe we should make it a little bit bigger, right? Because we got Rockies out there, and he's not even real.
Yeah, for real, bro. And they're like, I think what this must have come down to, it's really what I think, 'cause you know how I feel about corrupt politicians and shit.
Budget.
I think that they were like, all right, guys, so you know what today's date is? We're in March, and we got to get working on that Allen Iverson statue that we're doing. So where's the budget for that? And they're like, hold on, wait a minute. We're still doing an Allen Iverson statue? I told you we were still doing the Allen Iverson statue. He's like, oh, wait. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, fuck, I used that money and I spent it on a bill in Bali.
Yeah.
All right, I went out, I took my mistress to Bali and I wasted all the fucking
I got
money.
the Balboa one buffed. I don't know what to tell you.
So they're like, what else do we got? And he's like, I don't know. We got this, I don't know, laptops for the kids at the school. They're like, redirect the money and make the statue. It's not enough. Make a little one. You know, ask them how big we can get it for this amount of money.
Yeah.
There's no way that they thought that was appropriate. Somebody fucked up the money somewhere. They must have.
I hope that's a placeholder for like the one they're building.
Yeah.
I hope it's like, well, no, this isn't. No, of course not. We got the other ones being built. You know how long it takes to assemble that much fucking copper? We're mining it as we speak.
Right? You know how many slaves we have overseas that are making this happen?
There's a kid in a cobalt mine right now.
Yeah, right now, dude. Barehanded, bare feet, but you're going to get your statue.
Yeah, we're going to get you
That's the study, actually. Mm-hmm. That's what they base the statue on. First they make a little version, then they make the big version.
That's got to be an indoor statue. That statue has to be inside of a place. There's no way that's it. Nothing goes that small outside. I've seen bigger lights in driveways. There's nothing that you put outside that's that small. It has to be an indoor thing. Dude. Unbelievably, undoubtedly, it has to be like something that somebody's going to put inside, and that's why it's that size.
Or in a garden.
Dude, I've seen bigger garden gnomes.
You're not lying. That thing is smaller than the statue that the pizza delivery guy hits in Home Alone like all the time. When he pulls up to the McAllister's house, he's like, bink, and he's like, oh shit. Like it's smaller than that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to. I empathize for him. I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking poorly of Allen. It's not anything to do with him. The city just made a poor decision today.
Very
or whatever
poor.
day. Yeah, but not as poor as the decision that the New York DA. What was her name?
I forget. And the area that she's in. She's in a specific district.
Sandra Doherty.
Sandra Doherty.
Sandra Doherty, New York DA, not just any DA, the
Dirty.
DA.
The dirty DA.
The DA. Seems like she had a bad day. She was pulled over by the cops. I got the footage. I want to show it to you guys. We'll watch it first together, and then we'll react to it. I don't want to tell you guys how I feel about it until you watch it, because I want you to be able to process it and not have a bias, all right? Because if you hate me, I don't want you to disagree with me because you hate me. So let's watch it, and then I'm going to trick you into agreeing with me.
All right, guys. Here we go.
So,
Do we have any sound on it?
yeah.
Should be. Maybe his body cam.
I
didn't
think
kick
the
on.
body cam.
There it goes.
Boom. You asked for sound? You're going to get sound. Let's see.
All right. So now she was pulled over, and evidently she didn't stop.
We're not going to be able to watch it. We're going to watch it.
What are you stopping her for?
She's going 55 and 35 on Phillips. She didn't stop at all. Decided to drive home. Called the chief.
If you guys have a problem with the audio, let us know.
I know it's getting to be a big deal. Jeff's here, so let Jeff take care of it. All right, bye, bye.
Hi.
Hi, I'll talk to Jeff. Jeff,
Okay.
I was just on the phone with the chief.
Okay. I'm the supervisor with her right now, so
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't want to pull over on Phillips Road. It was just, I figured I'd just pull up to my driveway.
This is
Well,
after.
And I
This
called
is
Dennis and I said,
okay.
this is the
We
raw
need to
video,
find
but this
stop.
is after the fact.
Okay.
so
But-
that's the end of story.
Okay. But you should know better,
After,
right?
can you pull us back into the main shot so I can preface what exactly what happened?
I know that.
Okay. So why didn't you just stop? Like,
Because she's acting nice now.
Yeah, that's not a true portrayal of what the first video was. Sorry, guys, that's the wrong video. But do you want to?
I can pull it up.
No, do you want to go into like what? So what happened is this woman is the DA in this area in New York. It's and she gets pulled over for essentially a traffic stop. She was going 55 and a 35. Which anybody that knows that's a pretty hefty ticket, 20 miles over the speed limit anywhere is going to get you, kind of, it's going to cost you some money, a few $100s, maybe a court appearance or something like that. She doesn't stop and she proceeds to go all the way home. And the cop follows her home and then pulls in the driveway and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm not stopping." She's like, "I'm not stopping. I'm not like what? I came home." And he's like, "You can't do that." So he goes into the whole thing like, "What are you talking about? You were doing 55 and a 35." And she's like, "I don't care. I don't care. I'm the DA."
She's like, write me a ticket.
Yeah, and she's like, "What do you think happens? Who do you think prosecutes these?" She said, "I do. I'm just going to pardon myself. Get out of here. Like, you're wasting my time." It was the craziest display of entitlement and of political corruption that I have ever seen. She calls the police chief directly and is like, "Get this cop out of my driveway."
Yeah.
It's like insane, dude. Like, she released some bullshit statement asking for forgiveness. Like, hell no.
She just said sorry today. Yeah.
She's just corrupt, dude. That was the most corrupt. Guys, if you have time, look up that video and see it for yourself. The original stop when he first gets to the house and she's in the garage. First of all, any one of us that they must have ran her tags and knew who she was. Because any one of us that if you were to get home, not pull over, pull into your garage and proceed to exit your vehicle, they're going to light you up, bro.
Dude, she opens the door to go into her house at one point.
He's like, "Don't go in your house." Like, any one of us, bro, they're pulling guns on us.
She goes back into her car. She's like rummaging through her bag to grab her badge.
Yeah.
Like, crazy.
Like, that's what pissed me off is like the entitlement and the separation and kind of like rules for, for thee and not for me. Kind of thing. It's any one of us, dude. That's insane. Any one of us. Imagine getting home. I couldn't imagine that me driving, not stopping, not pulling over, getting home, pulling in my garage and exiting my vehicle. They probably open fire on some people. They pull guns for sure. Tasing you, everything,
100%.
calling back up. That's crazy, dude. That's like a standoff at that point. What?
Yeah, it's probably also like the area too. That probably has something to do with it.
But either
Like
way,
it might be a very, very, very like
affluent area, I'm sure.
that's exactly the word I was gonna say.
Yeah, that I'm sure, man. She's a goddamn DA, dude. You think she's living off Lowell? No. You know?
100%.
But
There's not a taco truck anywhere near her crib.
no, and no taqueria in the county, bro.
No, it's a fact.
In that whole
They got
county.
an anti-taqueria rule.
Yeah, they got an untaqueria. They got
Yeah.
that's it. You can't you get arrested. You directly to jail. Straight to jail.
Right to jail. They say before you move in, you got to be outside for a couple of days, and then they see, nope, you picked up too much color. Get out of here.
Facts. So
Like
what's
me.
your take on that? Crazy, right?
I think it's ridiculous. I wish I could. Wish I show people the video because that's a follow up, and she's being very.
You know what? Let's
I
put it
can
on the
play it.
Discord. We'll direct everybody to the Discord.
Okay, yeah, I'll post it on the Discord.
No, you don't have to do it now. We'll do it after the show.
Okay.
After the show, we'll throw it on the Discord. So, all right, guys. So if you don't have time now, sorry that we showed you the wrong video. That's our fault. We apologize. But we're gonna load the original stop footage, and it's gonna be pretty long. So if you have like 10 minutes to watch it, it's very interesting to see how the other side lives. And then you can, you could just click the link and watch it from the Discord. We'll put it in what tab? We'll put it under general
Video, I think
topics.
it's a video.
Is a video tab?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do it under the video subcategory on the Reddit, so you guys can check that out after the show. And shout out to Twiz in the chat, man.
Shout out to Twiz, my guy. Yeah, I thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, exactly what you're saying. Like, how'd she even get into her driveway? Like, that's crazy that this guy's even having this conversation with her. The fact that I was like mind boggled that they're even having this conversation. I'm like, yo, body slammed this bitch. Like, what if I would have been saying anything like that? And I don't think it's based on I'm not saying that it's based on her race or anything.
It's based on socioeconomic status, which that's my problem. I'm not going to say it's race. I'm going to say that's just a rich, powerful woman in politics, and that cop is worried for his job.
Yeah.
He's worried for his, he's probably, you could hear his voice is shaky.
Dude, she called the chief of police.
Yeah.
And he picked up the phone.
Yeah. Straight up, dude.
Can you imagine?
Direct
you get,
line
Like,
to the
yeah,
chief.
you go to work, like you say something to somebody at your job, and then they just call whoever owns the place.
Yeah, they call the owner of the company.
Yeah, and it's like, here, talk to this person. This guy's in my way.
Yeah, they tell this guy thinks he can tell me where to park.
Yeah.
Talk to this dummy and remind him where he lives in the food chain.
Yeah.
And if he wants to remain employed, matter of fact, demote him.
Yeah. You know what?
Fire him.
Yeah. I was
You
just
know
going
what
to
I'm
say
saying?
that. You know what? You're fired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't
you're
fire
rehired.
me. Bet. I fired him. Put you on speaker. The chief's like, sorry, man, you're fired.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I 100%, I get it from his perspective too. But it's like, in my head, when I was watching it, I'm like, yo, will you fucking body slam this lady? Like, when she's running into her house?
Yeah. It's crazy that they let her run in the house and then hit her with the taser onto the cement floor in the garage. But, if I'm him, you cover that body cam maybe and you just be like, how about I make Sergeant? We forget all about this. Huh? What do you think? Oh, this camera's a little faulty.
Yeah.
He'll pour like a Diet
Dude,
Coke
there was
onto it.
nothing that guy was going to say to her. She was so, this is like the definition of like above the law.
100%, man.
Yeah, she did put out an apology video today, and she also stated that she pled guilty and is going to accept the charges, and it's going to be processed by another DA. So like it's going to be processed by a DA from like another county.
No, but it should be real, like evading arrest, like failure to pull over, like she needs to get all of that stuff.
Well, that's what the supervisor
Like
is saying to
barricading
her.
herself in a home, even though she didn't. That's what they would charge you with. They would charge you with some kind of, refusing to comply with. With lawful order, obstruction of justice. Like, there'd be all kinds of stuff that they would charge somebody with.
You know what's interesting is that normally I'm not on the side of that I feel like people that do things outside of their work should end up losing their job because of their actions outside of work. But I think if she lost her job on this situation, I'm not calling for her to lose her job. I don't care. But I think if she had lost her job in this scenario, I might have not have been as empathetic with her as I've been in previous conversations.
I know what you mean, but I think this situation is a little bit different.
That's why I feel that way. Yeah.
I think it's different because it's not just her job. Her job is what she's using to leverage against the police officer and just law enforcement in general. She's using that as leverage against it. This would be like, to me, if there was, let's say, I don't know, a doctor let's say, and he was doing something crazy, disrespecting people. Okay, if he's disrespecting people at Burger King, no problem. But if he's in the hospital doing it, it's directly affecting his job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in your uniform from wherever you work and you knock somebody out in the parking lot, it's probably going to affect your employment. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Then that maybe, you know, I could be off, but that's kind of how I feel. I mean, it just showed that she clearly abuses her power. She clearly abuses her power.
Shout out to Juan in the chat. 100%. Dude, you can only imagine what it's like living with her.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine, man. You never marry a DA, dude. Are you kidding me? I would never marry a DA. No way in a million years would I marry a DA.
Well, not her. I don't know.
We would need to be married before she was the DA.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't no way. This isn't a new road this lady's been on. You don't just get there one day. You know, she's been a terrible person for many, many years.
She's not just a DA. She's the DA.
Yeah, it's true. It's true for whatever area that is.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, so now we're going to get into what we've really been holding off to talk about. Some more updates.
Rap beef updates. This is like going to be like a weekly occurrence where we talk. As long as they're doing it, we're going to keep talking about it because we're following it anyways. Last week we talked about it. The week before we were talking about it. Rap beefs. It's been a lot of interesting ones. Chris Brown dropping diss tracks. J. Cole dropping diss tracks. Drake, Rick Ross, and now finally Kendrick Lamar drops I'm trying to think of what's the phrase of like when somebody stops their silence. I forget.
Breaks his silence?
He broke his silence and released a Drake diss track song.
Yeah, he released a response to Drake's push-ups, which was okay. You know, J. Cole kind of waved the white flag and kind of bowed out of the whole thing. But Kendrick went in on Drake on this, or so people say. I mean, we were going to play the song for you guys, but everything that we read online was like, don't do it because they were going to flag our stream and all this kind of stuff. So we didn't want that to happen because of the copyrights. But if you know me, you know my opinions about certain things. You know, I thought the track was okay. I thought the idea was cool. It's called Euphoria, which, you know, if you're unaware, Drake produces that show Euphoria starring Zendaya that's on HBO. He executive produces that show. So that's some kind of little backdoor, you know, kind of content as to why, why he named it Euphoria. And what'd you think of the song?
Honestly, I thought it was a little like lackluster. I thought it was like not enough like punch for like the level of like diss track that's going back and forth. Like when you listen to any of the other songs, like even you could listen to Rick Ross's shit and it's like toned down because it's like his rap style is kind of toned down, but it still delivers a punch. Like his bars still deliver them. I think that it's like we were talking about before the podcast. It's like, it's very, you gotta fucking really listen to it. Excuse my French. You gotta really listen to it. It was okay. I didn't think it wasn't bad. But I wasn't like, I'm not eating Ether him. Like, you know? And I hate when people say that because I didn't even think, like, Ether was hard, but.
Ether was hard, especially when you compare it to weak-ass tracks like this.
Compared to this, Ether was Ether. But, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was kind of lackluster. I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was, like, worthy of, like, you know, his. You know, people hold him to such a high standard. He's got like California. He's like the king of California. He's kind of the only person because like if you think of any other like give me another California artist and that's who like, that people know outside of California. Blueface. You know what I'm saying?
La Russell.
People don't know him.
People know La Russell. He's not Kendrick's style.
His fans know him. He's kind of like Russ, where like people who know Russ, but the mainstream don't really know him. Mom and dads don't know him. Like, people don't know them. I don't got nothing against him.
Nah, you might be right. He's definitely not Kendrick's size or anything like that. Not even near it.
But he's not even like he's not like the Game. Like you know, those are like people. Those are like
you mean big time like headlining prominent type of.
He's a great artist.
Yeah, but he's not going to headline Coachella.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know
I know what you mean. But I don't know. People that know me know how I feel about this. I have been trying for years to understand what the allure is about Kendrick. I don't get it. I don't get it. I've tried. Now, I'm a real fan of hip hop. I mean, for many years, dude, my whole life, I've been making hip hop music for 20 years plus. You know, like I consider my taste to be tuned to a degree. Like I trust my taste when I think about something, if I like it or not. I try to give everything the benefit of the doubt. I don't get what the obsession is with this dude. To me, there's nothing special about him. His bars are mid. His delivery is weird. I was talking to a buddy of mine about it today, and he hit it right on the head. Shout out to Coast Life. Shout out to Dave. He said he thinks that his music, he said, I don't know who his fan base is. I think it's children. He said, I think it's children like Nicki Minaj. Like, there's no grown-ups listening to Nicki Minaj. Like, think about it. Have you ever been out somewhere? You ever been out and about? You ever been at a party? You ever been in a club? You ever been, on the block? You ever been in a parking lot at a car meet? You ever go somewhere and you hear people bumping Kendrick? I don't.
I have to assume that they're listening to him in California. And I don't even think it's like based on I think that you have the ability to look at music objectively because you kind of like understand that every genre or every different style has its place. You know, like you might not be into like that Bay Area, like waggy, whatever. Like that.
But I can respect what it is.
But you can respect it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that way about this. Like it's not what I mean. Like I don't know. It's just not good. It's just not good, and it's just it's not even like real. It's not even like too much conscious rap. It's just like it's its own thing.
I think it's pseudo-conscious. I think it's fake conscious. It's not conscious. It's not, like, to me, I'm just convinced that the machine chose him for whatever reason. Like, the machine chose him. The industry chose him. And they are pushing him. Which, fine, it is what it is. But it's like, when you hype somebody up to that level, you need to come to me with some kind of real proof that the person is that good.
Yeah, just because you don't understand him doesn't mean that he's smart.
Yeah, just because you don't understand him don't mean that he's nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he says, right?
Saying?
Yeah.
You know what he say? Just because that don't mean that he writes or something. Like, it's like, come on. I don't get it. I think I'm going to go out on a limb here. Now, I'm bugging sometimes. They're probably going to try to drag me, especially because I'm trying to get into this industry. But it's like, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to keep it real all the time. It sounds amateur to me. The way he raps and his presentation and his delivery and his whole thing is his cadence. His shit is amateur.
But it sounds like him.
It sounds like him, yeah, which is the problem.
Yeah, it sounds like him. It wasn't. He just had to come harder. He had like no even like his tone. Like he didn't set. He didn't. For me, it doesn't even seem worthy of a rebuttal. Like when you put out a fucking banger, you like, oh, this person's got 48 hours to put something out. Because this is hot. Like, they got to put something out quick. This doesn't seem like anything that was like, especially when he made us wait damn near 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he was writing because a lot of it's new. He referred to the AI track. Mm-hmm. You know, he
Tupac turning in his grave.
Yeah.
I agreed with him there. That AI track was terrible.
Yeah, well, you know, Drake got a cease and desist for that.
Good.
They're making him like take it down. But or they're trying to, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't get it, dude. I just think there's way too many artists that are very good that aren't getting the love they deserve. Like, if you're gonna make somebody like the conscious head dude in hip hop because of his substance, and all, they gave him a Pulitzer Prize, dude. Kendrick Lamar got a Pulitzer for one of his albums. I'm like, you got a Pulitzer, bro?
Well, that's the thing they throw in the Olympics, right?
Yes, exactly. They bronze one for him.
Yeah.
You know, I can't. I just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And for a long time, I was like, man, maybe I'm just not understanding. Maybe I just like, no, I trust my taste and his shit is not for me. Whoever it's for is nobody I know.
Yeah. I think you and I don't have like the same taste in music. And I think we could both agree. We have similar taste in music. I guess you like all the music that I like, but there's certain music that you listen to that I just don't listen to.
Yeah, for the most part. And I don't love Kid Cudi. I know you love Kid Cudi. I do not think Kid Cudi is good. I think
Kid Cudi's good for what he's done in hip hop. He may not be still making good records. It's like Eminem, right? It's like we have to say that Eminem's still great, even though his last like a couple albums ain't gonna be like amazing. But what they've done for hip hop is so monumental.
What do you think Kid Cudi did that was monumental? I got to know now.
I think that his influence.
He wore a wedding dress or whatever the fuck he did.
No, I think he influenced music. He influenced Kanye to be that style, like that Kanye. Like he may not be directly. Yes, he is responsible for like that Kanye we got. Like the greatest Kanye songs, like he's kind of had his hands in them. Or like in that time period of when I still think Kanye is great.
He's incredible.
But I think that like the role he played in there, and even like his like the stuff we don't know about him, or that he's not like directly known for doing, is like crazy.
See, I think that he's a writer. He's a studio person that you have in there, you bounce ideas off of. Like, that's the way it came out with Kanye, I'm sure. But to have him, not everybody, let me stop, because I don't want to be too critical of these people. They're, they succeeded, they sold records, they made music their career. So they succeeded in that regard. But there's certain people that I don't understand why they get catapulted to this level when you have people like Joyner Lucas and stuff like that is not getting the same attention.
Well, Joyner Lucas doesn't make... He makes music that people no longer listen to. The music he's making is extinct. Well, that fan base is extinct.
Definitely not true. He's still selling out shows. And
he's another guy like LaRusso. Russ.
But the only reason is that they haven't chosen him. The machine hasn't chosen him to push him forward.
But
my point is Kendrick, he's better than Kendrick. He's way better than Kendrick. He blows Kendrick out of the water.
The machine has no opinion. It's gonna do whatever's gonna make the most money. If Joyner Lucas if they seen money in Joyner Lucas, they would choose him. They're looking to enslave whoever is gonna bring the most profits to the house. And it's like it's the same thing where you have like like the Locks or even the Locks are different because they were out in a time period where like that kind of rap was great. So that's different. I like Joyner Lucas, but I can understand why he's not like being played on the radio.
But he's only not being played on the radio because the machine is not giving him that push. You can't tell me Kendrick Lamar wasn't this size until the machine got behind him, until Dr. Dre got involved, and Dr. Dre got the industry behind him, Interscope and all that. Like, that's what happened is Dr. Dre got the machine behind him. I was listening. I fucked with Kendrick before he blew up. When Kendrick was dropping mixtapes, when Wiz Khalifa was dropping mixtapes, when these dudes were dropping tapes and they were fire. J-Rock was dropping shit and it was like dope. It was dope music. And then Dr. Dre co-signed him. He got on the Interscope and all that. And then the machine took over.
I think that the machine could definitely catapult people. It could definitely like force feed you certain people, but it doesn't stop other people from succeeding.
Of course it does.
I don't think that.
100%
I think that if Joyner Lucas, like, how are they stopping people from being his fans?
It's not that they're stopping people from being his fans. They're let's put it this way. They're giving Kendrick steroids and they're not letting him have steroids. So that's how you start to create that separation.
Yeah, but that was probably better suited in an industry where like radio dominated, what people were listening to. We live in a day and age where people can select what they want to listen to. And if the masses wanted to listen to Joyner Lucas, they would.
No, but they don't. No, they do absolutely control it because they'll put his shit at the top. They'll bury Joyner shit. And the circle, it happens so quick.
And I don't even want to make it about Joyner Lucas because I get fed his shit because I listen to him.
Whatever artist name.
Yeah.
That's not huge. And that shit is completely intentional because what you do is you take the people you want to push and you put them in front of people. You put them at the top. You put them here. You put them there. You put them at the top of the list. You put them top picks, hottest out, new releases, and you put them up front. Like if you go to the new releases, that shit scrolls every day. New releases from like that week. Go on to YouTube Music. Bro, you could scroll for 10 minutes and you're going to have new shit. And there's going to be shit that you're like, oh shit, I didn't know this dude put an album out. Yeah, because it's all the way down here, number 286. When you know, Kendrick shit will be all the way at the top, or the certain people that they want will be up at the top.
But you know that if it was an artist that you really enjoyed, that you followed, you would know that he had an album coming
Well,
out.
that's because, you know, if you're specifically looking for someone, Kendrick, nobody even gave a shit about Kendrick until the Machine got behind him. I'm telling you, he was like,
But yeah, I'm not saying that that's not true.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
saying
the
that
machine
is
gets
true.
behind you. The machine inflates your stream numbers. Russ explained the whole thing on the Andrew Schultz podcast. You know, they inflate your numbers. They get you features. They get you co-signed by other people that matter. It's all, they just start paying people to do shit. I just don't know why he was chosen, because he was not popular when they co-signed him. He was not. He was a regular up and coming dude. But why did they pick him? And why did they not pick someone else?
Why did they pick Chance the Rapper? Or what's it? No, not Chance the Rapper. What's that other dude? Oh man, he just had a show that came out too.
What kind of show? Like a TV show?
A TV show, yeah. Doesn't matter. It's another rapper from California who's is kind of in the same boat. He's a little bit bigger than the guys we're talking about. But what I'm saying is that I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
But I do think that we live in a time where somebody can make themselves enormous without the machine. I do believe that what you're saying is true, and the machine could take somebody and create and make them into a superstar, right? But what I'm saying is, like, when we look at these other guys, I don't think that there's anything, like, nobody's stopping them from also being super. They can have a massive following. They could have all this. I don't know what it is that stops them from, like, hitting the mainstream. Or why people with Joyner Lucas,
services.
But you know Joyner Lucas's music is never going to be mainstream.
Yo, it could be mainstream
Nah,
if they made
people
it
don't like that shit no
Bro,
more.
no, people like what they're fucking told to like, dude. When they play that shit enough times and play it to you and show it to you and play it to you, people like the shit. People are so fucking easily led in a direction with repetition, and that's just how they do it. It's marketing. You know, they just don't put the machine behind Joyner because they don't believe in what he can do.
I like his music, and you could play it 1,000 times in front
I'm not a
of me.
Joyner Lucas fan. I'll be honest. I don't bump his shit, but I respect the hell out of what he does, and I think that he is better than a lot of these guys that are getting all these looks. Like, I like what Joyner does.
But that doesn't dictate like what you're saying, like that catapult to the star system, being a superstar. Like, he's not making catchy songs. Like, that's what dictates, like, people like that shit blowing up, making something that somebody doesn't have to. You gotta listen to his music. Like, he's really spitting bars. It's not like it's not something that's like easily digested. He doesn't make music that's for the masses.
And Kendrick does? Kendrick makes songs for the masses. Kendrick is garbled. He's weird voices. He's obscure bars. You know, he's very artistic in that way.
I think that all their music is funny from over there. And I think he's the only one that they really got. So maybe he just wins by default. I don't know. I don't know what the California situation is. I can't explain.
But forget California. He's global.
I can't explain Kendrick, but it's except for saying that what your logic
That the machine picked him.
But I've never ever said that that's incorrect. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, you said they're not capable of pushing someone while simultaneously slowing other people down.
But what I'm saying is that I don't believe that they're slowing the other people down. That's what I'm saying. I think that yes, they are pushing these people, and maybe it's having an adverse effect by slowing people down. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that the machine is intentionally making people not listen to Joyner Lucas. I think his music is difficult to listen to. I think it's difficult to digest, and that's why people don't listen to him. The same reason why people may or may not listen to Logic. It's like, dude, slow the fuck down.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not the same thing. So let's pick someone else.
You could pick Russ. Russ would be a better example, because Russ's music could be played in the clubs.
But Russ is independent. He does not have the machine. He is not signed.
He would be a much better argument because he's palatable. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got it, but at the same time, he does have a big fan base.
Yeah, he has a big fan
Much
base.
bigger than Joyner Lucas.
I wouldn't say that. Joyner Lucas their probably comparable. I don't know the numbers.
Russ is like international. Like, he's selling out shows in Germany and shit.
I wouldn't doubt Joyner Lucas isn't. They like that Joyner Lucas shit over there.
They did. The Europeans
More than
love
so
that rap.
You crazy?
That hardcore
you see
rap.
some Italians rapping that don't even speak English. They'll know every single word.
Bro, I told you about my tattoo artist in Italy who knew.
He put on the baby, right?
Bro, I was getting tattooed in Italy. He was like, "What kind of music do you listen to?" And I was like, "I don't know. You could play anything." And at the time, I was listening to Lil Baby in the airplane. I was like, "I would listen to Lil Baby in the airplane," and he was like, "I love Lil Baby." This dude put on the craziest Lil Baby playlist and rapped every word to every song perfectly, bro. Perfect. He was saying the wildest shit. 'Cause you know these songs are crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I guess you can say that, but I don't know. Don't say it too loud. No, but yeah, they're big fans. But I think Russ is actually a better, in my opinion, and maybe I'm overestimating his fandom.
No, you might. You could be right. So plug in Russ's name. Sure.
I think that Russ is a better example for my argument because he is somebody who's independent, doesn't have this backing. However, he still sells out shows. People still, but he's not mainstream. They aren't playing him on the radio. But I think that he does have like that big success. I think his like what people would describe as like that underground audience is probably bigger than anybody else's underground audience. I think that he's huge in terms of somebody who doesn't have like that backing. I think he's probably the biggest one. Who's bigger than Russ? That's like you would be able to insert into this conversation of somebody who's very good but doesn't get the push that they deserve because they're not chosen by the machine or on a label.
Lady London.
I don't know who that is.
Lady London is, well, she's not as big as Russ, but like I said, I don't know if I agree with that.
Macklemore count?
Macklemore was with the machine, and he sucks.
I thought he wasn't signed. I thought he was like
what? Macklemore sucks, and he had the whole machine behind him.
I thought that was his whole thing, that he was independent.
No. He was independent, I'm sure, very early on, but that guy's he's got all kinds of deals. I don't know. I don't know. That's a great point because that's another one that was chosen by the machine. For what reason, I don't know.
I don't know. The same
Red.
guy who chose Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars is incredible, though. What are you kidding me? Bruno Mars like multi-instrumentalist. He produces all those records. He writes them all. He plays them all.
Never mind.
He's one of the most talented guys in hip-hop. He dances.
I didn't know that.
Oh, my God. Guy's incredible.
I just threw out a random name.
That dude, he'll play the piano, then he'll switch over and play the drums on the shit, then he'll go and play the bass, and then he'll choreograph a dance to it. And
never mind.
That
Bruno
guy's
Mars,
savage.
apparently he's amazing. But I don't know.
Incredible.
It's the same guy who chose, like
Sexy
you said,
Red.
Sexy Red. I think Drake chose her.
Well, Drake did. You know why? Because, he was told to choose her because Drake is now partial owner, allegedly, of Gamma Music, which owns all the guys that are coming at him battling. So he possibly owns a small percentage of their records because now he owns a small portion of Gamma Music, which oversees all that shit. And she is also signed to Gamma Music. So now they're probably paying Drake to big her up and plug her. Like, her music is awful. She's disgusting. We know that shit is gross.
She's fucking gross.
She is disgusting.
I don't understand how anybody
is
like, I don't even get.
If you say Sexy Red 3 times in the mirror, you get herpes. 110%, bro. Don't do it, guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. This is my point, man. Some of these people just get picked for what I don't know.
Sometimes I think it's true, but I do think that just like in life, like, you can
make it on your own. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and, independently make waves. I understand, but it's not an easy thing to do.
No way. Shit. Now, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that, like, I guess it was just so easy for me to say it for Joyner Lucas that when I insert other names, I think the argument's a little more difficult to make.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't completely. I agree with you 100% what you're saying about the machine. But I do think that with the powers of like YouTube and all this stuff, like, you can become big. Now that I'm saying this more and more,
and they're partially owned. Labels are involved. Labels have deals with streaming companies and stuff. They have direct access to the owners. That's what they do. They have deals. There's playlists that you pay to get on that only labels have access to get on Rap Caviar. You can't just have a hit song and get on Rap Caviar. You have to go through a label who then goes through the handler that then puts your song on there for a certain fee.
Yeah, but there's stuff that happens on like these platforms that you can't explain that nobody's pushing. That it's just something that caught. I watched a guy today who's living in a Honda Element, and he streams from his Honda Element. And this guy's huge. And I was like...
But he's streaming. He's not making music.
No, he's not streaming. But that, you know...
You said he's streaming from his Honda Element.
Yeah, he's not making music. I said, no, he's not making music.
You said, no, he's not streaming.
Oh,
but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I know what you meant.
He's not making music. He's streaming.
Yeah.
And I'm just showing... Like,
streaming is different, though. Streaming is a completely different thing. That's like saying, there's no machine for being a chef. It's like, that's a different thing. Like, streaming is completely different because that's like IRL. It's a different audience. You know, it's people that like to watch people live. It's a very different thing. People that are listening to certain musicians versus watching streamers, very different.
Yeah, I think that the actions are different, but I think that they share an audience. It's like a creative field. I think it's very similar in the sense that, like, you know, what people go through to be a successful streamer, musicians probably go through to be a successful musician.
But streaming, believe me, it's coming to streaming. The machine is coming to streaming. It's coming to podcasting. You're going to see that podcasts are going to start to be suppressed. Certain ones are going to start to be pushed up. And, you know, it's pay to play. You know, once they see, they haven't worked out how to really make bank consistently on podcasts. They haven't figured out how to own people's conversations clearly yet, the way they have with songs. They haven't learned how to own the publishing. It's not that clear yet. It's still in its infancy. Same thing with live streaming. That shit is in its infancy. But it's going to happen, and you're going to start to see that the big stars like Aiden and Kai and all these guys, they're going to start to become the majority market and stuff, and guys that they co-sign, and those people are going to blow up, and then other people they're not going to be necessarily pushed down and throttled, but they're going to not be talked about, and they're going to be, you know, these other people are just going to be bigged up so much that the other people disappear.
They say that about Kai, that he was suppressed, that he was like bigger than like all these Twitch streamers.
Yeah, and then they probably were like, slow down, motherfucker.
And no, he was like getting more views than all these Twitch streamers, but he wasn't getting like the accolades that all these other guys were getting. Yeah,
so that's the thing. They suppress him, and because of that, not as many people are talking about him. Not as many things are being written that are popping up in search criteria. Like, there's ways to...
For him, it had the adverse effect. I think it made him bigger because he was just talking about... He was just making it so... He was like showing it to everybody. Like,
he leaned into it.
Yeah, look at what these guys are doing to me.
Because he was able to prove it.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Because he was able to lean into it and prove it. But there's a lot of people that can't. I mean, they're artificially inflating streams. There's stream farms. There's all that kind of stuff that we know is happening. You know, so if they want to blow somebody up, they do that at the cost of the other people, because now organic growth is not what it was. You know, it's not at all what it was.
Who are you telling?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not at all what it was.
How can we get selected now? Because I'm down. Are you against being selected?
I mean, listen, if somebody knows the Diddy of podcasting, tell them hit us up.
Yeah.
Tell them hit us up. We like yachts.
We like to party.
We like yachts. We like big parties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hit us up. And I think on that note, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go buy a pair of white pants just in case we get that phone call.
There you go, in case you get that Diddy call. So that's what we got. So listen, guys, we'll close it out real quick. Master None Podcast, episode 198. Make sure that you guys jump into Discord. You know, leave some comments after the video if you want to get involved in the conversations and in the topics. Feel free to spread your opinion. Feel free to talk to us. Hit us up in the Discord. Again, on your way out, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you never miss a live stream or an episode that we post, as well as videos and shorts. But and listen to the audio versions. If you don't find us on your favorite audio podcast listening platform, you ain't done. Get that mic, son. If you don't find us on your favorite audio podcast listening platform, Berto,
join the Discord. Join the GD Discord and harass us until we place our podcast in your obscure podcast listening platform. With that being said, hope everybody has a great night. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.